is Shelly from Hodgepodge Hoosiers. Today I am going to work on getting these plantain leaves all washed. I've had them soaking a little bit and then twirling them around. I went outside this morning and I cut a bunch of them. This is called broadleaf plantain. People think it's a weed, but it's very medicinal. So I'm going to make a salve to get put in our medicine cabinet. I make this salve and I make jewelweed salve in the fall. And that's what we use for burns, cuts, scrapes, bug bites, stings. It's very, very good. And I went to a part of my yard because I do have little dogs in the house most of the time. So I went to a part of my yard that they don't have access to. And I give them a good wash. And I'm going to put them on this towel and kind of wring them out on there. If you don't know what plantain looks like, you can get a plant app. Now I've got an iPhone. So if you take, if it's a 13 or newer, you can snap a picture of it and then hit the little eye whenever you look back at the picture, the eye on the picture, and it'll say look up plant, and it'll tell you also, which is, it's free to me to use. So and then there's this type of plantain, which you can tell it's plantain usually by the long lines in the leaf. But yeah, most people buy weed killer or something to put on their lawns to get rid of it, not realizing, I guess, or I don't know, but it's very medicinal. I've been trying to get into all natural medicines, so I'd rather use something all natural than I would where you can't even pronounce the ingredients. So next thing I'm going to do after I get these good and dry is I'm going to put them in my dehydrator. You want them good and dry, and then we'll crush them up, and then I will show you how I infuse oil to make the salve. Then I'll be stocked up for the year, so stay tuned. Okay, I got these plantain leaves all dehydrated yesterday, and I just put them in a bag until I could mess with them today. And I'm going to put them in my chopper. And all you want to do is get them down, grind them down to a coarse powder. I'm going to use this chopper that doesn't like me. Okay. Trick to it. There it is. A little bit finer. Get a bowl. I don't know, I didn't measure how many plantain leaves I got or anything, so figure if I've got extra, I'll just put them up in a jar for the next time I need to make more salve. I've been wanting to do medicinal salves for a long time, and I have made jewelweed salve, and we're still working on that. But I wanted to just get more involved in it. One thing is, you know that there's probably, or should I say you know, from all that I've been reading, is there's a lot of unnecessary stuff in all these store-bought salves and stuff that we buy, and this here is just a, you know what's in it. It's just down to you know what's in it. So we're going to, hopefully this will make a batch. I gotta wash that, so just put that right there. All right. I've got my little crock pot out here. Now there's a faster way to do this. I don't have to have it fast, and this here is, I don't have to watch it. So you put a ring or a towel in the bottom of your crock pot. Let me get some water in here. Put this in there first. There. And then we're going to turn it on low. And you don't want to use the lid. This here, you'll have to put water in it ever so often. Now this here is right at a half cup, and that's what I need, is a half a cup. So that was perfect. So a dehydrator, 5 trays full of leaves, is going to give me a half a cup of plantain coarse powder. Now, it says you can use grapeseed oil, olive oil, coconut oil. You need a carrier oil. I've got the extra virgin olive oil. Oh, this is new. So I'm going to put a half a cup of this oil in there. Okay. There. And you want to mix it around real good. Actually, that's soaked up pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little more. Let's try that. Probably added another 1/8 of a cup. You just kind of, you want it good and saturated to where it looks, you know, it's a thick, soupy consistency. There. And I think I could add just a little more. There, just a couple teaspoons. All right, so that looks good. Now all you're gonna do is put it in here on your crock pot, on that lid. You don't want to set it directly in there. Now I've heard some people say that you can set it on the bottom. I don't like to. Just do what you feel comfortable. This is going to set in here on low. It says 24 hours, and I could put it on high and maybe get it done by, you know, 12 hours this evening so I can shut it off. But you want it to infuse. The whole thing is so then plantain properties, the medicinal properties, is going to infuse into that oil. And then when I get done with the infusion, we're going to take a strainer, put some cheesecloth in it, and we're going to strain it out. And then I'll probably put it back in the jar, and then however much liquid that I have is going to be how much beeswax pellets I put in it, because we want it in a pretty, not a hard solid, but a semi-solid state to put it in our little jars and containers for the salve. Now this salve here, like I said in the beginning, it is for inflammation, like if you get a cut and it starts swelling, getting really red, that'll work on that. It works good on bug bites, bruises. I forget all the properties. It's your scrapes, your cuts. I'm not sure about poison ivy. I know jewelweed salve is good for the poison ivy, and that's what we use for that. But I am going to also get going 2 other salves. I found an antibiotic, natural, it's called healing salve, that I'm going to do. I don't have all the ingredients for that yet. I've got to get them. And I'm also going to make a dandelion salve. And I'll bring you along for that because I want my medicine cabinet to be full of natural remedies. And people needs to know how to do this. What happens if one of these days you can't get what you need? It's helpful to know that you can go out and forage and make you some medicines that is going to help. So I'll bring you back when this is done infusing. Alrighty, this is how it looks this morning. I shut it off last night when we went to bed. Keep it on its lid. It's just been infusing. I have had this little crock pot on high just because it don't get that hot. But I'm getting ready here. I'm going to strain it and get the beeswax pellets in it. But I think it looks pretty good. It should be a good green color whenever I get it strained. Okay, I'm ready to start straining this. I just took it out of the water. Giving it a good stir. I'm just going to use a bowl with my strainer, and I am going to put, I'm sorry you're hearing the dishwasher again. Let me stop it for this. Okay. All I'm going to do is pour this in there. Try to get all that in there. There. Get a spoon, kind of smush it in there. I'm just going to squeeze it real good. Try to get all that oil out of there. Because plantain is so abundantly plentiful in our area, I only have to make, you know, one jar at a time. When I get low, I can make it again. Or I could dry the plantain and have it sitting on the shelf. And the next thing we're going to do is I need to go get a clean jar. So I'll be right back. Okay. I'm just going to pour this into this jar. It's what I was hoping for, was about a 1/4 cup. Let me get a little spatula. Scrape all that in there. Okay, now it said 2 tablespoons of beeswax pellets per 1/2 cup. Well, since I've got a 1/4 cup, I had got out 2 tablespoons knowing that I probably didn't have a 1/2 cup. Now we're going to start with a tablespoon, and if it still seems too soft when it cools, I can always add more. I just bought this off of Amazon. It's just regular beeswax pastilles, it's called. And you're going to put it back into the liquid. Or not back in, put it into the liquid. Beeswax is a little expensive. It's not terrible, but I'm still on my first bag. And I have used it for a lot of things. So I'm going to stir this up. Now the next thing is we're going to put it back in the crock pot until that is good and melted. Now I have my little flat bowl jar here, which it had some in it before. I wiped it out. And this is what I'll use. And then I will label it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out a sheet that says Plantain salve on it and ingredients, and then what all it, helps, like putting on cuts and scrapes and stuff. Then I went out yesterday before we mowed, and I got all the dandelions I seen. Like I said, I don't make large batches because we can get dandelions. I put that in there. The carrier oil is olive oil. Now this is going to steep and infuse for 4 weeks. And then when it gets done, I will add, I think I'm adding a little bit of coconut oil. No, I'm adding tea tree oil to this one because it's like a natural antibiotic. And then it'll get the beeswax. And then I'll have a salve, and this is for dry skin. Like I can use it as a lotion. I am terribly allergic to so many things, but I can use all the natural stuff. So this here will be like my lotion. It's for really dry, cracked skin. And it's also for skin irritations, but the cracked skin and stuff is probably because my hands get so dry from working in the garden. And I can't use regular lotions without breaking out in a bad rash or hives. So this will be my lotion. Now probably next week, I've got lanolin I've got to order today. I'm going to get an organic lanolin oil. And I'm going to be making a healing salve. And that'll be taking the place of like a triple antibiotic ointment. I've done a lot of research. Lanolin comes from sheep's wool. So it has got very medicinal properties to it. So I'm going to be making a healing salve, and that's going to be to keep sores and cuts and stuff from getting infected. But I'm doing it slow, but like I said, I've been using jewelweed salve for over a year now, and we really like that. I burned myself, which right here, I still got a scar. I put that jewelweed salve on a burn, and it takes the heat out for me, and I really like it. So I'll continue to use that for burns. And like I said, when this gets finished, I'll show you what it looks like when I put it in the jar. And I've got all these natural salves coming. I plan to add more. Because like I said, one of these days, what if you can't get it? And I just rather know that I knew how to make it. And I could have an alternative to having to go to a store and buying stuff that's got a bunch of things in it that you can't pronounce, don't know what it is. At least here, I know what's in it, and I've read up on them and know what their properties is. So anyway, I'm going to get this melting, and I'll show you what it looks like when it gets done. Okay, the beeswax is all melted. So I'm going to take it out. And I've got tea tree oil. And you can put in, I think, like up to 120 drops per half cup. Now, I'm only going to do like 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And this here is vitamin E. It's aloe vera, and it's a fungus fighter. Good for dry, itchy scalp. Tea tree is a natural antibiotic type oil. So we're going to mix it up thoroughly. And then it's ready to pour in the jar. And let it start getting thick. There. Now I'll let it completely cool, get to room temperature before I put a lid on it, and then I'll label it, and then it's ready to be put up and used. So it's got a nice earthy smell to it. That doesn't bother me. You can put lavender essential oil in it if you want to give it I guess that would give it a good smell. This don't bother me. I just need it to work. But it's a good natural salve to have on hands. So if you like this kind of content, stay tuned. Like I said, I'm going to be making the dandelion salve, and I'll tell you what that all helps. I'm going to be making the healing salve. This fall, I'm going to make another round of jewelweed salve because I think I'm down to my last little tin in there. So I'm just trying to get up a few things up that we don't have to buy from the store. And this is all natural. So the good Lord provides everything we need. So I'm just trying to learn what I can use with what I've got here on our property. So if you do like this kind of content, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.